Hello there and good day. We're doing another X4 video today, continuing with our Bounty Hunter series, and because I still need to set up a few things, I've decided that we're going to do a little bit of a trading tutorial, as it's something I need to get set up anyway, so I might as well share it with you. I'm just watching a little bit of a battle here. We've got Imperial Ascendancy Acclamator, which is currently fighting poor little Black Sun Starfighter.
Your expired.
Little Kirex, that's something I'd like to try out at some point soon. Why the Kirex has decided that it can take on a Acclamator, I don't know. Even the transport variant, it's now impossible to take it out with a fighter and a fighter alone.
Requesting immediate backup.
Poor guy. Anyway, so we are still in our little Z95. I did some more mapping. We've got the majority of the stations that I want around here to get us started. I probably could do with, I've already done some mapping out in Terminus, but these are the main areas I want to focus on because I'm wanting to get our reputation up with both the Enoch Federation, the Bounty Hunting Guild, and the TMG shipyards, because this is probably where we're going to initially get most of his fighters from, because we don't need to build any actual trading stations. So trade, what we're going to do, because in this particular sector there is quite a bit of pirate activity, I fancy something a little bit tougher. We don't want to spend a lot of money. Now at the minute, as you can see here, I've got just over 5 million credits, which is not a lot on this game. So we need to be a bit careful. One of the things to remember with trading is not only have you got to buy the ships first of all, but when those ships go around to start their initial trading, so say it buys some energy cells from this solar power plant to then trade with these stations, it costs money for that ship to buy stock, and the bigger the ship, the bigger the hold, the more money you need in the bank for it to be able to buy it. So when you're first starting out, it is good to start with small and medium. If you start with larger ships, what you can often find is you end up losing quite a bit of money initially, which you might need for, say, buying advanced satellites, or buying satellites, or repairing your ships, or buying concussion missiles. So that's one thing to bear in mind. So what we're going to quickly do is we're just going to have a look at some medium ships and see if there's anything that takes us fancy. So at the minute, good solid trading ships. We've got the Action 4s. They're fairly tough, with a good hull. If we go on a higher preset, they've got a decent shields, they've got turrets which aren't the best, but you're not using this as a fighting ship. It's basically just anti-pirate. They're not very manoeuvrable, they're fairly slow, both just travelling around in space and travel speed. But if we look, 2 million is a decent amount for a transport when you're first starting out. You've also got things such as the bulk freighters. Again, the other thing to make note of is your cargo capacity. This is a lot of cargo for a medium ship. Decent hull, decent shields, no turrets on this one, or at least, yeah, no weapons, so this is pretty much defenseless, and it is again very slow. The Gazantes are probably always a solid bet. great hull, great shields, decent turret output as well. Not so great a speed on the basic ones, but good storage amount as well. The Corellian shuttles, I've never really bothered with these. Good cargo, decent travel speed, decent sector speed, decent hull, really good shields. They're just not something I want. Probably one of the more cheaper ones. The one I'm wanting to look at is either the Sea Rock, which is the older style Gazanti, but that's going to cost us nearly 3 million. Again, pretty slow. Storage is okay. Hull and shields is brilliant. Turret output is alright. Decent amount of crew. Or we've got this Tribune transport. What I'm going to try and do on this playthrough is use ships that aren't, you know, your more common seen ones, just because they're ships that I've never really used. So let's have a look at this Tribune. We're starting out for chassis alone just over 1 million. On a high preset, we're looking nearly 3 million. We've got a really good speed for travel speed. We've got decent speed there. Hull is okay. Shield is okay. So this is going to be our more smaller based medium transport. I mean, sometimes you can drop on, depending on what faction it is, and get some decent small ships. New Republic have got some good small little starter traders, such as your U-Wing, to get you going. It's got an okay amount of container space in this. It is quite expensive though. That's over half of what we've got. So what we need to do is trim this down. Now there's a few things I do when I'm speccing these out for different roles. Now engines, not much I can do about that. Thrusters, I'm not going to be flying this ship. It doesn't need big Mark III combats. Mark IIs will do okay. It gives it a bit of manoeuvrability, it lets it get around, and it's relatively cheap considering. If we look at the Mark Is, you know, it's not actually that much of a difference, but Mark IIs, if I ever do decide to go in, I've got a little bit of manoeuvrability. Then shields, I try and find a balance on my shields between recharge rate and actual shield amount. So on this particular preset, it's recommending the Corellian Engineering 1077s. Let's have a look what else we've got. So we've got a little bit cheaper, lower recharge rate, lower shields, for the sake of just over 1,000 credits. I'm not really that bothered. I mean, if you look between those, there's barely anything. And you'd be saving yourself quite a bit of money on there, but again, I think we can do better. And then if we look at the Quintad Q2s, 23,860, 24,900. So the Corellian ones will do for this particular purpose. It's also worth noting as well, you've got different slots. So what you might want to do is you might want to have half the shields ones that have got high shield capacity, and then half of them have a high recharge rate. Weapons, for his main weapon slot, which is this one, XV1, it's a good solid weapon. Probably a bit overkill for a freighter. I mean, I'd be half tempted for the 420 credits to leave it off, but we'll leave it on again just in case I want to have a play around in this ship. KX5s versus the MS1s. For the fact it's a trader, we're going to go with the cheap ones. That'll save us, you know, another nearly 8,000 credits. Cheap. Krupp's launcher. Do we need a Krupp's launcher? They're your torpedo launchers. We'll keep them on just in case. As for the turrets, we've got the AG2 and the AG1. for your turret damage and output, you're looking down at this one. So currently, at the minute, average turret output is 130. We change it to that, 69. So there's a substantial drop. These are your, most of the time on ships this side, these are your kind of your anti-fighter, anti-piracy turrets. If you want to know a bit more information about what each turret does, if you go on the encyclopedia and remember what it is. So the AG2G quad laser cannon, our weapon output is 777 megawatts. Against a shielded target it does 882, against the hull it does 777, so it's decent. It fires 2.86 rounds per second, so it's quite rapid firing. Its projectile speed is, that's how long it takes for the laser bolt to get from the turret to the target. It's 2,700 meters a second, it's not bad. Its effective range is 2.4 kilometers. I'm not that. I like longer range turrets, especially on ships that I'm not in. And its rotation speed is 209 degrees per second, so it'll take less than 2 seconds to basically do a full rotation, which is pretty damn good. It means it's going to be pretty useful. You all, on this production method, it tells you what components you would need to build this turret yourself if you had your own station. It also might give you an indication of what you might want to trade with this station. So I know this particular station I'm buying this ship from would want advanced electronics, energy cells and turret components if it needs them, if it's got the demand for it. And then his other option was the AG1G. So a lot less on the weapon output, a lot less shield, a lot less against on target, same amount, similar to projectile speed, similar range, rotation speed, but it's only one single turret. I think in this particular case, and this is the annoying thing about this, is we can click, if you click the little arrow there, the back arrow, it'll take you back to it. It's very easy. If you click the cross, basically you've got to start again. We'll stick with that because I want them to be fairly well defended. Software them, like I keep saying, I'm not going to fly this ship, so I'll happily keep it with a Mark 1 because that is a lot less and we're shaving off money. Flight assistant software, that's mandatory. Long range scanner is good because this needs to scan to find prices, to find traders. It doesn't need a police scanner. There you go, we saved ourselves another bunch of credits. Targeting computer, if it's greyed out, it's mandatory. It needs it, and trading software, basically it needs its trading software because it's going to be a trading ship. Consumables, proton torpedoes. If we look at this, 10,500 credits per torpedo. We don't need that many at all, and in fact proton torpedoes are quite can we do an encyclopedia entry on that? If we look at the different torpedoes, do a heck of a lot of damage. They partially ignore the shield. So proton torpedoes are compact, highly destructive nuclear missile able to essentially burn right through target shields and cause significant damage to its hull. They are generally used against both starfighters. I don't use them against starfighters because they're not very good, and larger warships. Definitely larger warships. The MG7A is a starfighter scale proton torpedo produced by Krupp's Munitions. So what's its speed? Max speed 303 meters per second. So it's slow. If it's going up against a starfighter, that's most starfighters will be able to outrun that. But then if we look at its turning rate, 1 degree per second, it's not manoeuvrable. You just have to sidestep it essentially. And pitch rate, vertical strafe 1 meter a second, horizontal strafe 1 meter a second. They're not brilliant for taking out fighters. If you were going up against a larger ship like that acclimator we saw at the beginning, you have a squadron of fighters filled with the brim with these, you're going to do a little bit of damage, especially if you can start targeting engines in that, because they're not maneuverable. They're built to be taken these missiles are built to take on things like that. So what else can we put on this? We've got the ion torpedoes. Ion torpedoes are great against shields, and I believe it says somewhere it's temporarily crippled subsystem. So I think the idea is if you hit them with enough, you can start switching off turrets, you can start switching off engines, you can slow it down. Again, it's a slow missile, it's not very maneuverable. These aren't dumbfire, as in you're firing it just goes in a straight line, but they're not far from it. And then there's other option was the light concussion missiles. Now, decent damage, max speed 800 meters per second, fantastic. It's now outrunning most fighters, even if they've got the boost, even if they're boosting to the maximum. Turning rate 27 degrees a second. It's got good kind of like homing capacities, 25 meters per second on its vertical and horizontal, so it comes side to side. It's harder to get out of the way, these. So what we're going to do, because I'm mostly predicting if this thing is going to get attacked, it's going to get attacked by fighters. We're going to go with the concussion missile. The 3000 a pop will fill it up. I don't think it'll use it, but you never know. Other things you might want to consider doing is maybe put a couple of satellites in, fill it with flares. That way, when you've got your satellites, you can use it to map out certain stations if you need to. To know that you've basically filled all these different component criteria to the max, there's a white line at the side of it. If it's not quite full, it means you've not quite filled it. So for example, if I put empty there, you see it's gone there. If I take that one, it's gone down slightly. So that's another thing to watch out with. Always watch your tabs, because when I first started playing, I had a squadron of Z95s as my station defence force. I only gave them one gun each, so they were 50% effective. It's easily done. Crew wise, so this particular ship will hold 6 crew in total. We've got as captain, a captain is mandatory. Depending on what you're wanting to do, it depends how you load it out. If you're wanting to potentially claim or board other ships, you need Marines. 2 Marines aren't going to do anything. Service crew, I believe, repair the ships over time. You'd want, in a trade ship, I'd probably say we'll take 1 Marine just in case we see another ship, and then we're going to max it out with service crew. Bearing in mind, if this is your ship that you're wanting to use and there's ever a mission where you've got to transport someone from a station to another station, which are quite common both when you're fighting for the main faction's war against X faction. If this is full, your ship's full of crew, you can't transport that passenger. If you see that happening, then just leave 1 free space, and you can see there it's 5 out of 6. But I'm not planning on using this ship. You have got this little settings tabs here. This will let you select what ammunition you're going to use beforehand. You can do this afterwards, and you can tell the turrets what to do. So this is our ZH-40 Tribune Trader, just over 2.5 just under 2.5 million. I'm happy with that. Now, if I ever want to make any more of these, I don't want to go through all that. I've set that up how I want it to do, or how I want it to be built. I'm going to go on save.
Stop that criminal.
I'm not going to call it high preset. We're going to call it ZH-40 Trader. Save as new. There we go. So now if I ever come to any station that has that component, because you can load out different ships with different components at different faction stations, I can go on ZH-40 Trader. There you go, we've ordered it. Now, if you want to name it from the start, you can do. You can just change this name here. I'm not going to do that now. It's not like it's going to be a massively important ship, even though that sounds really harsh. So that's what we're building. If you want to build more than one, you can select it there. Sometimes it'll only let you build as much as you've got credit wise. We're happy with one. Estimated build time, it's not on there. Warnings, not enough station resources, it might take longer. So this station's missing Durasteel plates. As a trader, I'm thinking I can trade some Durasteel plates here. But we're going to confirm it anyway, because unless it's getting into the tens of thousands, that won't take long to fill. So we're going to click confirm. That's really reassuring. There's a group outside there, so our ship might get destroyed straight away. We'll see. Right, so down here we can see how long it's going to take before we can select it. It's going to take 5 minutes and 30 seconds. That won't start until it's basically got its Durasteel plates. If I want to try and boost this along a bit and make myself a little bit money, let's go on trade. Durasteel plates. Sold wares, Durasteel plates. Does anyone sell Durasteel plates? Someone around here apparently sells Durasteel plates. So let's have a look at trade offers on there. No, it's just buying at the minute. Excellent. Where's that? Durasteel Foundry. So what we can do, make a little bit of money. We can target this Durasteel Foundry. Set guidance to objective, and we can buy them. Now the way I've done this, we close that. If you open this trade window, if you're looking for a specific resource and you click on it, you'll see a little shopping basket. So in this case, we're looking for Durasteel plates. Click on that, and that will highlight on the map any station you've got information of the trade on, what they're buying, what they're selling, what they want to buy. So Durasteel plates. There you go. So we're going to set our guidance to that. Now we're in a Z95. We are not going to get many Durasteel plates from this. So what we'll do is we'll go outside. Go on autopilot. And we'll go and buy the plates, come back, drop them off. Now looking at this particular sector and how many Black Sun are kicking around, especially in the trade port, it might not be the best idea to start trading here. Or what we might have to do is kill those. We might even see if there's any bounties for them. Or the other option is you can say for our trader, and this is where it gets a little bit excessive, we could go say buy a couple of N1s basically to escort it, put it as part of a fleet, and we might do that. I love how, and we'll have a look at it in a minute, it says interceptor class. Now I'm pretty sure an interceptor class is essentially just an action 4 with a bit more kind of armoured up, gunned up. This little Z95 would be no match for it whatsoever.
LH-30 totem freighter.
I would imagine that Luca hull would give it a little bit of a go, but let's have a look at that. Yeah, look, it's just an action 4 with some extra turrets. I've not looked at the stats on this. To be honest, it looks pretty Probably be an okay anti-fighter cruiser, depending how much it were. If it was cheap enough, as in you were building a fleet and you wanted some disposable flak, could be good, maybe. All right.
Steel foundry.
So shifting D.
Docking right.
There's a Valor class trader. Where's our docking port? Down here. Whee! So let's land. Got used to flying medium ships, so when you hit the brakes, you get used to being able to stop pretty quick. When you hit the brakes on a medium ship, you basically takes a while. So, how many Durasteel plates can we buy? 20. Wow. Okay. So pluses and minus. Oh, I don't want to get up.
D95.
Get
Split. It's split, Busy. Not now.
Not now. This is my ship, buddy boy. So we will have enough to essentially get this going on. I think until these are dealt with, we're not going to really get our ship done. So we might have to. Oh, we can't cancel the order because we've already put it through.
Engage.
So if you want to keep checking your process, it's still 5 minutes 30. The problem will be until these BLS mercenaries are dealt with. There's not a lot we can. There'll be no traders will be put off from coming in.
Jump completed.
And I can't run ahead and kill them in this because I'll get destroyed pretty easy, and I believe the Equinox is docked down here. Shall we bring the Equinox up? Where were we going? Oh, can't wait. Universal Trader. Got the Luca hull again.
Interceptor frigate. Jump completed. Matao.
So, likelihood or not, these mercenaries are gonna scan us and go, "Oh, we like the look of your cargo. Do you want to share it? Drop it, or we'll blow you out of space." Something along those lines. Have they docked with the station? Is that what I'm seeing there? They're just scooting around. No, I don't want autopilot on.
Imperial goes anti-freighter.
I mean, there might be some bounties on those guys anyway, so we might have to do a little bit of a mini bounty hunting. So, I think what we will do is pause for now, because in most situations, when you buy a ship, you will not have to do this and resupply the station itself. It's only because where I'm buying it from, they're having some supply problems. Well, there you go. That tells us how much profit. So we've made 384 credits from that, which is pretty good.
Stop that criminal!
What I'm going to do is wait for this to get stocked up, get in the Equinox, and we'll take out those black sun as well. But obviously I've got to wait for the Equinox to get from there all the way down to here. So we will be right back. Bloody black sun. What bloody am I doing ourselves? Look at that though. We're back in the Equinox, Mandalorian Gauntlet. We've managed to finally get our ZH40 built, our little trader. Took a little bit of buying from the Durasteel foundry and carting it back and forth to get the plates, but we've done it. Now, what we want to do is we want to get this set up trading. So at the minute, it's just been built. It's still docked. In fact, if we get up, we'll be able to see it. And its little docking
Gauntlet Starfighter.
cockpit, TMG wharf. Be able to see it. Should be able to see it in its little docking bay. So let's have a look. That's our ship over there. I always get very nervous walking across docking platforms, especially if it's a busy dock like the one in Coruscant, because what will happen if the docking station's full, a little gunboat there, is it'll put your ship into storage. Whoop, whoop. And I don't know if it registers you're still on the docking platform before you get put in storage as well. I would imagine you'd be able to teleport out. If you do want to, you can actually teleport to and from your ships, just pressing Shift and D, and if you press Shift D, it'll let you go to your different ships. So Equinox, ZH40, they're my two ships. You can teleport in between stations in a sector or your property anyway. So if I was, say, here and I want to go in my Z95, I go to my Z95 with left click, right click, teleport to, and then that would send me to the Z95. If it's a station you own, you can teleport to and from it. And I don't know if you've got a high enough reputation you can teleport to friendly stations. Like I seem to remember on my New Republic playthrough being able to do that, teleport to and from stations. So here we are. This is our ZH40. I'll have a quick look at it while it's landed. Nice little bit of detail there with the little docking port. Cool little engines on it. It's like kind of like a baby CR90. Looks nice. That'll be our big XV1 laser, and then there's a couple of other ones. So yeah, overall it looks like a nice little ship. Let's get up on the bridge, have a quick look inside. Nice, it's got a nice little interior. Not all the ships have modified interiors. It's worthwhile check. Hello, I'm sorry, am I bothering you? What seat's that?
DH40.
Gunnery control. Oh, bless him, he's a bit confused. Nice looking ship. Anyway, back to his trading. So a lot of your trading depends on your pilot skill, and if we look at this particular pilot, he's got a piloting of 1, morale of 1. If you want an in-depth look at your crew, all you do is go to your property owned, right click it, and we go on, well, left click on it and then right click on it, and we can look at crew. So this tells you all about your crew. This is our pilot. If you have within your crew a better level crew, a better pilot, you can automatically replace the captain with the best crew member. In this case, they're all greyed out. We've got our one marine, whose skill is pretty bad, although he's almost a 1-star pilot. And then we have his different crew members, so decent engineering, good morale, etc, etc. So yeah, these are our 4 little engineers. So with him being a 1-star pilot, he is limited to what he can do as regards to trade. And if we just click on here and go back into information and go into this tab, behaviours, we can change his default behaviour. So at the minute it's set to hold position. If it's your player ship, try to remember to make sure it's on hold position, otherwise they might fly off and leave you behind. It's happened a couple of times. And these are our different options. So we've got some combat options. We can set it to patrol, to police. So if it's your sector and you've got a list of like items not allowed in your sector, you can police it. Protect a position, protect a ship, protect a station. Then you've got your navigations: dock and wait, fly to an object, follow a ship, or hold position. Then we've got, for a salvage, auto salvage, local auto trade, advance, fill shortages, find build tasks, revisit known stations, supply fleet, and repeat orders under advance. Now, we're mainly focusing on the trade tab here, and as you can see, most of these, apart from local auto trade or revisit known stations, are greyed out. Apologies if you can hear the dog. Now, ideally, we're wanting to build it up to this 3-star level. Now, if we were to go local auto trade and zoom out and look at our trade tab, and we'll just close this, it'll tell us a rough overview in this sector of things that are wanted. So there's a big demand for Durasteel plate, there's a small demand for medical supplies, and a small demand for missile components. They sell water, food rations, and capacitors. That's an overview of 12 stations. It might be getting some stations in this sector. If we zoom in a bit closer to an individual station, discard that for a minute. It'll tell us what this particular station wants. It wants engine parts, weapon components, Durasteel plates, very high demand for everything. If we look at this station, it wants microchips, plasma conductors, superfluid coolant, and it sells plasma conductors. Although at the minute it's not selling any plasma conductors, we can tell that because it's got there a module prefabs. Most stations which build ships will want the same type of thing: energy cells, Durasteel plates, missile components, turret components, advanced electronics, microchips, that kind of thing. And things like that. It's always got the top kind of like 3 bought, top 3 sold in any one sector. If you can see, we scroll out here, this changed a bit. This is the highest demand, this is what they sell. If you want a little bit more information about what they sell, buy and sell, we can go into trade offers and we can look at specifics. So these guys primarily sell through food rations. That's very good to know. They've got a sell offer of 93,000. That's a lot. And they buy all these items. And this is how many they'll buy. So this is what they want to fill their stock. Every station, if you look at the logical overviews, it's all question marked out at the minute. But a workforce, for example, will need contraband alcohol, food supply, food rations, medical supplies. Each one of these usually has what it needs to create an item. But we don't want to go too much into that. We want just a general idea. So for our little trader, at the minute, all we can do is set up local auto trade, which it would start working. We go information, behaviors again. So if we went local auto trade, it can sell one ware in one sector of space, so it would only be able to sell it in what space we anchor it in. So where we could say, I don't know, food rations, medical supplies are always a good one. So food rations, anchor space, we are in Matoa, whatever it is. M is for Matoa, which is there. And then we click confirm. Let's actually click confirm.
The ship will be undocking soon.
It'll give you confirmation of what he's doing. He's going to start. He's going to take off.
Can I help?
Yep, proceed with your orders. Very good. He's going to take off. Let's have a look at him as he's taking off. This is our brand new trader. Oh, I can't do it. There we go, look, holding up that Gazonti. He takes off, and what he's going to do is he's going to start trading locally. And he's just going to go out, and he might have a little pause at some point, and he's going to find something to trade, someone to trade with, and someone to sell to. And that's your local auto trade. And as time goes by, this skill, this piloting skill of this guy will slowly but surely go up. There is a mod on Steam to make this increase a little bit quicker. And then that's it, you've set up your local trade. But what if you don't want to set up local trade? What if you want to be trading more wares? Because remember, you're only limited to one ware on local auto trader in one sector. What if you want to increase that a little bit? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. Wait, get your piloting skill up, come back, or you can give piloting seminars. So it starts, there's 3 types of piloting seminars which are fairly commonly available. You've got basic, which will get it up to near enough 1 star. A 1-star pilot or crew will get it up to usually 2 stars. 2-star usually gets it up to 3 stars, and then a 3-star, which is harder to get hold of, gets it up to usually about 4 stars. If they're on half a star, that transfers over. So say if I get him, he's 1 star, it's probably going to go up to 2.5 stars. 2-star piloting seminar will get him up to 3.5 stars.
Sir.
We haven't got any 1 stars at the minute. If we look at our, can we see our inventory? It can tell us everything we've got. General wares, we've got a 2-star one. Now, I'm just going to teleport back. To the Equinox. And then back to the wharf.
Starfighter.
Now, 1 and 2-star piloting seminars are usually easy to get hold of. The way you get them, they come from dropped enemy kills, they come from missions, especially missions which when you're working for a specific faction. So I don't know if I'll actually have any. So say I were to join one of these, it would, a lot of these missions that they give you will give you X amount of credits plus a upgrade item or a some sort of a seminar. I don't know if, let's have a look, open briefing. No, that's just straight up credits. Oh. Bounty Hunter Guild wants some defense station.
Do
Oh,
not
there you
wave
go.
at the
So,
station's security cameras.
I missed my ride.
Distracted
Very
operators
easy one.
lead to undetected crime.
If we take this particular one, pick up this pilot, we'll get 44,000 credits plus a 2-star piloting crew. Pretty good. The other way to get it is when you're on stations, and stations vary with inventory. So this might not work. But if we go to our station, we go to our trader's corner.
Can I help?
Show me
Here you
where's.
go.
And we have a look at this particular place. Everything they have is on this side, everything you have is on this side. So, excellent. We've got a basic seminar. We'll pick that up. We'll pick one up. The different colour prices means how good a deal you're getting. If it's green, it's great. If it's white, it's average. If it's orange or red, you're being ripped off. So we know we need a 1-star. So we're going to buy that. Any bits of junk that you've picked up, this is where you'd sell them. So we'll sell those. Sell those. Sell those. Now, all these items as well, the things that you picked up, usually you need them to make other items on your crafting table. Alien eggs, keep hold of them. When you've got 25, you can make a alien omelette. That sells for about $1 million. In fact, we'll check that in a minute because we've got 26. The rest of these help you upgrade your ship, which we might cover in another episode. So I'm going to confirm that. I've now got
Good luck out there.
my pilot in level 1. So if I go into my map, go into my property owned, go on there, right click it, comms,
Can I help?
and our lovely Mr. Split Man, we can now give him a piloting seminar. So we click that. There you go. His piloting skill, if we look on the skills tab, is now 2.25. Fantastic. We can also contact him from here as well. If we go on comms
Can I
again,
help?
we can give him a 2-star. Excellent. He is now 3 and a bit. So he's gone from just being able to local trade to now he's better at his job and he can trade. Because whenever you see this orange icon, it means he's having a bit of trouble. He can't find the things that he wants or the things that you've told him to sell. So now, instead of just doing food rations in this area, which you can't find, we've got some more options. So we could tell him to fill shortages, and we could tell him what shortages to fill. This can be quite useful for just dotting around, or we can go into... Oh, he's not got advanced yet. Okay, that's odd. So let's stick with full sorted. Advanced basically means that he can go 3 or more different places. I'm going to change it to fill shortages. Now if we wanted, we could just tell him to fill shortage of everything. But we know in this particular area of space, by looking at his tabs, if we go over here, people were wanting Durasteel plates, and they were wanting a lot of Durasteel plates. So we're going to go Durasteel plates, we're going to missile components, shield components. That's going to be a couple of our wares that we put on. So then we just tick these boxes. So what do we want? We want Durasteel plates. We want missile components. We want shield components. And that's 3. Usually go up to about 5. Let's go advanced electronics as well. Most stations will need those, and we'll have energy cells as well, and that gives us 5. Now, as an auto include, I would say get your 5 ones that you mainly want, and then just throw in medical supplies and food rations as well. Just because most stations will need this, and it'll get you money. So we're going to OK that. That list will be there. If you ever want to remove them, you can do that. And then we're going to click confirm, and that is now his job. He's going to fly around and try and fill those shortages. The downside with just doing it as fill shortages is he's going to go anywhere you want, which advantages are you've widened that kind of like search area for buying things. Disadvantages are when I'm trading, as well as making money, my main kind of objective I'm thinking of is I want to build my reputation up with these stations in this area. So I want him to stay here, and I want him to trade the specific resources in this area and buy outside. So what we'll do, I'm just going to run around the different stations now and see if I can find more, find a 3-star pilot rating, and then we'll get back into the action. After a little bit of searching around, we have managed to find a 3-star piloting certificate seminar. So we're going to go ahead and buy that.
Split wish you fortune.
Thank you. Split wish you fortune too. Now, where's our little trader gone? He's all the way over here. I say all the way, it's only one sector across. So what we're going to do now, let's talk to our crew. Let's get him on the comm. We're going to give him his pilot seminar, and now we should be able to get him doing some local auto trade. So if we go back into our information, go into our behaviors, advanced auto trade. Excellent. So we're going to do the same again. We're going to keep the same wares. So we want Durasteel plates, we want missile, we're going to have turret components, missile components, shield components, energy cells, energy in here. E is for energy cells. Let's get some food rations. In fact, we'll go energy parts. We're gonna have quite a few on this one. So his primary function of what I want him to do is trade with wharfs and shipyards. I also want him to have medical supplies, and I want him to have food rations as well, because you can't go wrong with those. So there is wares. His anchor space, can you just click in there? No. Is going to be Matoa again. Now this is where we can fine tune it. If you're wanting just a general trader to go around and trade wherever you want, leave these to the maximum they can. They start off at 3 and 3. As they advance and go up in skill, you can get 4, 5, 5. I think 5, 5 to maximum they can go. Now the distance to buy, because I'm primarily wanting reputation from these factions. No TGM and bounty hunters. So what we're going to do, buy distance, we want that max. We want him to be able to go the whole 4 sectors. Sell distance, I'm actually going to tell him, no, you can only sell in this sector. So you can go and buy them from wherever you want, which means, you know, he can buy from this free port, he can buy from our Durasteel foundry up here, and he can buy from whatever's down here, up to 4 jumps. So if we count from there, we go 1, 2, so all the way to an O. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. I don't know if I like him being a trading there or there, but anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're buying from Ascendancy, Imperial Ascendancy as well, which is going to get us reputation, because it works both ways. You sell something, you buy something, you get reputation. So there we go. So that is now our trader set up to the best trader, the most optimal we can do. So we're going to click and confirm on that. That's now his job. He's going to go around, get these wares for me. That's fine. He's going to get these wares for me, and he's going to sell them in this sector. He's going to buy from all around, 4 jumps around, and he's going to sell in here. And we'll get a little bit of money from it. We'll get a little bit of reputation from it. And then by that time, we're going to be able to start looking at buying licenses from TGM. And then when we can buy his license, that means we can start buying our military grade ships. So that requires corporation military ship access. We can start buying them then, and we can also get access to any military style shields that they might have. So if we look at, say, Bounty Hunter Guild, they're a good one, I think. So we can say get a Razor Razor Crest is small. We can start looking at getting a fire spray, but we can have military turrets on it, and we can get military shields. A military shield will always have a little star on it. So that is, in a nutshell, trading. Mainly focused on trading for reputation, because although profits is good in this game, reputation to me seems far more useful in the way that it gives you more access to more high-tech ships and things like that. And there we go, there's our little
ZH-40
coming into dock. Oh, you got your docking ramp open, mate. It's not good. So there we go. So we'll do a bit of trading. What's he selling? Will it tell us? There you go. He's made his 9,000. He might have bought some things while he was there as well. We don't know. That could be another trader. So yeah, there you go. Oh, and one last thing. I said I'd show you this. So crafting materials in every trade corner, or the vendors that sell you can buy ships from. There's a crafting bench or a workbench. Workbench gets you items to upgrade your ships. Crafting bench is for crafting other materials. So we've got our alien omelets. We've got 26 out of 25, so we can go craft. Confirm. So that 10,000 credits per alien egg has now turned into just over 1 million. You want to be selling these at least 1 million, and it works for everything else. So salvage electronics will give you electronics. You can make different meals, first aid kits. You can make SETA drives as well, which is not, I don't think is really necessary in this, because most ships come with SETA as standard. You've got your different security slices, so if you want them to go into your stations and like get better trade offers illegally, that sort of thing, you can do that. You can make ammunition for your space bombs, so let's craft a couple of those as well. So yeah, that's where your kind of things come from.
Hello.
Your crafting items.
Can I help?
And let's see how much these alien eggs sell for. This alien omelette. So look at that, 1 million, easy. That has paid for
Split wish you fortune.
the trading seminars. So the main thing to take away, trading. Make sure the ships you get in aren't too big for your demand, i.e. if you've not got much of an income, if you're just starting out, you don't want a massive trading ship, because it's just going to keep wiping your bank account out until it gets up to a good level. Remember that to be able to trade efficiently, you got to get your crew skills up. in order to do that, as well as the trade ship, you're going to need, say, an extra 10 to 20,000 in credits to be able to buy the seminars, plus I'd say 100,000 credits in the bank to be able to buy your goods. So it's balancing it out. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope when I come to edit this together, it's nice and short and straightforward for you, or as short as it can be. And that's your how I go about trading in X4. So thank you for watching, and until next time.